Good afternoon, everyone. It's January 1st, 2020. 2020. I hope all of you had a great new year. I did not stay up for that shit. Don't care about it because, well, time is nothing more than illusion, right? Let me do this right quick. Alright. Before I get started with the usual shit, I have a question for you. It's a serious question, and I hope some of you will answer the question as honestly as possible in the comment section. Would you have the strength, the mental fortitude to resist going along with the masses? For example, let's say you're a black man and you're among a bunch of other black men who, for some reason, decide ganging up on a group of people was a good idea, and vice versa. If you're a white man and you're with other white men doing the same thing, you're rolling around, having a good time, maybe partying a little bit, but the night turns bad. Your group of friends want you to go out and jump a group of people that are different from them. Would you have the strength to say no? That's stupid. Would you risk your standing with these people to go against their will on either side? I ask you this because a lot of people, most people in fact, would not have the mental fortitude to go against the group. And for those of us, and I can say with 100% certainty, maybe as a younger person, I would have done something like that, although it probably would not have been a race thing, because I wasn't raised to hate black people or Mexicans or anybody else, for that matter. I might have gotten out of the car to beat up a rival gang member or something like that at a young age, but by the time I was, 21, I had figured that was pretty much really stupid. I ask you this because I think probably in the not so distant future we are going to be put in this position as a nation. And I hope my subscribers out there make the right choice and don't fall for the contagion of groupthink. I ask you this question because the article I'm going to first cover here, it's on Blacklisted News, and by Caitlin Johnstone, I believe it is. Let me check. Yes. Our entire society is mentally ill. Notes from the edge of the narrative matrix. I'm only going to hit maybe the first 3, maybe 4 paragraphs, and then I will leave it up to you to come to this site and check out the article in its entirety. I don't think it will be necessary, but it would probably be nice of you to give Blacklisted News and Caitlin Johnstone a hit. Start over in the new year. Also, start over at any other time during the rest of the year, whenever you want, as often as you like. Time is an illusion anyway. I cannot assure you that things will get better in the 20s. I can assure you they're not going to get better in the 20s, Caitlin. I can assure you of that. I'm sorry. But there's too many things that's gone wrong over the last 10 years for there to be any kind of reprieve, whatever. There is no going back. Shit's done. And we're going to have to live with the consequences. So, she goes on to say, I can't assure you that they'll get worse, and I can absolutely guarantee you they will and are getting worse. And as fucked up as that is, things are going to keep getting weirder and weirder. The mainstream worldview isn't mainstream because it is more fact-based or logical, makes better sense or arguments than other potential worldviews. It's mainstream because vast fortunes are poured into keeping it mainstream. Now, anything that has enough money thrown behind it can become mainstream. Kill the state, live free. If I had billions of dollars to throw behind that slogan, it'd probably get me killed. But if I had the money to throw behind this idea of not needing rulers, it would be mainstream. Why do those people hate us? We destroyed their country. We should leave the Middle East then. We can't. Why not? Israel. What about it? Those other countries hate it. Why? It destroyed the country it was built on top of. Well, maybe we and Israel should leave then. Nazi. The empire's overall strategy toward Iran seems to be to crowd the area with an increasingly intrusive military presence, then react disproportionately in so-called self-defense when anything happens. And this keeps on going on and on and on. Do you have the mental fortitude to say no? We do not need to defend Israel. No, we do not need to be in these wars where little children and women are being brutally murdered each and every day. Do you have that fortitude to resist the call to war? Now, moving on, we're going to hit this one. This one is over at shtfplan.com, and it comes from Brandon Smith. I have to hand it to Brandon. He tried to be very biased on this, or non-biased rather, excuse me. The leftist cult versus the Trump cult, similarities and differences. And I'm probably going to do the majority of this one. Because at the end of the day, a cult is a cult is a cult. Oh my God, the Mormons are molesting their children. Oh, it's okay in my church because it's my church. Political demagoguery is a valuable and effective weapon in the arsenal of the establishment elites. As long as there is a wide ideological division between groups in society, biases and desires can be tapped and manipulated. And I strongly advise all of you out there to get the ebook or book, The Crowd, The Study of the Popular Mind. You want to know how this shit works? It really does a great job of breaking that down to you, for you. This allows those in power to direct vast portions of the public down one path or another. And when you don't go down one of these paths, when you offer another path, you're either marginalized, your voice isn't heard, and when it does get heard, you're killed. Freedom, right? When the fear of an enemy and the drive to win become more important than truth and evidence, the population has tied its own puppet strings and handed them over to the spin doctors. This is why the false left-right paradigm has been so useful to the establishment for so long. Anytime the public starts to wake up to the web of control, all the elites have to do is push one or both sides of the political spectrum towards extremism and let the people rage at each other instead of picking up their torches and pitchforks and tearing down the oligarchy. This method of division and diversion keep the masses occupied and feeling as though they are accomplishing something while actually accomplishing nothing. As Carol Quigley, globalist insider and mentor to Bill Clinton, admitted in his book Tragedy and Hope, in quotes, the argument that the two parties should represent opposed ideals and policies, one perhaps of the right and the other of the left, is a foolish idea acceptable only to doctrine and academic thinkers. Instead, the two parties should be almost identical so that the American people can throw rascals out at any election without leading to any profound or extensive shift in policy. Then it should be possible to replace it every 4 years, if necessary, by the other party, which will be none of these things, but will still pursue with new vigor approximately the same basic policies. The same basic policies, both foreign and domestic. This is how the prison industrial complex has been so successful. This is how the justice system as we know it has been able to thrive. The leftists do not care any more about the prisoners locked up in these prisons, these gulags, these hellholes, than the Republicans. Now, they are beginning to talk, reform, but it's talk. The only reform that will ever be effective is the reform provided through pitchforks and torches. The only reform that will have a lasting effect is the reform of the noose, the guillotine, and the firing squad. Anything short of these is merely us chasing our own tails. This is why I tell you, kill the state to live free.